Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The idea to split Willow begins. Tracy greeted Jason as any good aunt would when he discovered her in the Quatermain solarium. "Looking for your lady love?" she inquired. "I just got off a plane, Tracy. I have no idea what you're talking about," Jason told you. Tracy was not finished as she said, "Yes, you do. Sasha. Your newest baby mama." A perplexed Jason pushed Tracy to expand, especially when she mentioned his bestie. "What does Carly have to do with this?" Jason inquired. Tracy stated that Carly confronted Drew about having a tryst with Willow in the gatehouse, and he responded by telling the world that you impregnated our cook. A perplexed Jason asked why Tracy would believe anything Drew claimed. "Deny it," Tracy demanded. Jason stated he didn't have to tell Tracy anything, so she accepted his silence as an answer. "Sasha's baby is yours," she said. When Jason questioned where Sasha was, Tracy suggested he check her room. "I'm sure you know where that is," she said deadpan. Tracy instantly remembered that Sasha had stated she would meet Felicia at the Port Charles Grill. Jason made sure Monica and Danny hadn't heard the good news before leaving to visit Sasha. In Nina's office, Carly was concerned that she and Nina might exacerbate Drew and Willow's relationship. "Maybe the best way to beast Drew is to just do nothing," Carly said. Nina recognized how ludicrous that sounded coming from Carly. "I can hardly wait to see you do nothing," she commanded. Nina wasn't going to just wait it out, but she was curious how Carly would react if Willow moved into Drew's large new house with their grandchildren. "Do you think Wiley and Amelia will call Drew Daddy Drew?" Nina wanted to know. Finally, Carly gave in and decided to work with Nina. Nina notified Carly that Maxie was on her way into Drew's residence. Carly was astounded that Drew intended to move Willow in. "I cannot believe I was with someone like that," Carly told me. She then inquired as to how far Nina was willing to go to ensure their plan's success. "To take Drew off the board, I am willing to go as far as necessary," Nina told me. Carly sought to establish clear goals and ground rules, emphasizing that her primary purpose was to get rid of Drew and was unconcerned about what happened between Willow and Michael. Both women agreed that Willow and Michael should be able to figure out their marriage on their own, without Drew influencing every decision Willow made. "Drew's the worst thing that could ever happen to Willow. Her emotions are all over the place, but I do know she genuinely loved your son," Nina told me. "But Carly, there's only one variable that needs to be dealt with right away, and you're the only one who can deal with it," Nina joked. Cody and Felicia met up at the Port Charles Grill. Felicia had an immediate issue with Cody. "You've been messing up royally, Cody, and there's someone to whom you owe an apology," she told me. Sasha stepped in next and noticed Willow. Sasha didn't spend time asking Willow about her living situation. "So, are you staying with Nina, or have you already moved in with Drew?" questioned the woman. Willow walked away after telling Sasha to focus on her own career. When Sasha turned around and saw Cody with Felicia, she was enraged. Felicia apologized for not informing Sasha and Cody that the other would be present. She only wanted their relationship to be peaceful. Sasha did not want anything to do with this. "Right now, thanks to you, my baby and I are the talk of the town, so forgive me for giving whatever this is a hard pass." Felicia sat Sasha down and convinced Cody that he had overstepped his boundaries with Sasha. He apologized, but Sasha remained angry. Felicia calmed her down briefly before Sasha told Cody that while she appreciated his care, it was misplaced. "The way you're going about this, it's making me feel that you think I can't take care of myself and my baby. I want to raise this baby on my own without having to answer to anybody," she told me. As soon as Sasha and Cody reconciled, Jason stepped in, and all hell broke out again. Cody accused Jason of being Sasha's baby daddy, and both Jason and Sasha begged him to stay out of it. However, Cody decided that causing another scene would be a good idea. "Come on, Slimeball, just step up for once in your life and take responsibility, say it. Say that Sasha's baby is yours," he yelled in front of the entire diner. Willow and Marty sat at a nearby table, discussing her divorce. Do you really want a divorce, or do you want to work towards a reconciliation to try and save your marriage? Marty was asking you. Willow informed Marty that her marriage had ended, so Marty was prepared to respond to Diane's divorce case. Marty sought full custody, alimony, and spousal support. Willow wasn't sure why they couldn't wait till Michael's condition improved. Marty told Willow that she could still lose custody of her children if she did not move quickly. Just then, Nina appeared and joined them. She was astonished to learn Marty wanted to move forward with the divorce swiftly. "Are you sure, Martin? That may make things messier," she said. Marty was taken aback by Nina's attitude, given that she was the one who recruited him to begin with. Nina reasoned that Michael was still in therapy, and she did not believe Michael was sincere about seeking full custody. "It's his starting point, a negotiating tactic," Nina argued. Willow opted to wait to answer to the divorce petition after Marty said it was most likely real. Marty was still dissatisfied, but recommended Willow gather dirt on Michael to use as leverage in a custody battle in court. Back at the Q house, Carly entered the solarium just as Tracy was leaving a note for Diane about Michael's divorce and custody case. Carly snatched Tracy's phone and hung up. Tracy was astonished when Carly said she was foolish to confront Drew in public because it only brought him and Willow closer together. Carly, on the other hand, had a point of contention with Tracy. "If you keep interfering, Willow's going to take those kids, and we're never going to see them again," she told me. Tracy admitted that she was mainly concerned about Monica's great-grandchildren. Carly told Tracy that Michael would heal and regain custody of his children, but until then, we have to give Willow room to breathe. Carly was confident that Willow would recognize Drew for who he truly was. "Wow, this is very fair and calm-minded of you. I don't buy it. You are not the wait-and-see type, and you are also not naive. Do you really believe that when Michael comes home, sanity will return with him?" Tracy was puzzled. Carly claimed she believed in her son. Tracy eventually decided to do things Carly's way. While Cyrus stood around the corner watching Elizabeth work at the nurse's station, Rick approached her with flowers to greet Nurse Weber back at work. Elizabeth was delighted with the flowers, but informed Rick that she was now known as Nurse Baldwin. Cyrus listened as Liz expressed her gratitude to Rick for assisting her in fighting the GH legal team. He even overheard Rick informing Elizabeth that Cyrus had a relatively conventional parole arrangement. Rick convinced Liz to take a walk during her break. At the park, Elizabeth couldn't stop thinking about the Digitalis deaths at the hospital. Rick warned Liz to be cautious, but she believed she was all right. "The hospital is the safest place for me to be because he's been banned from there," she claimed, referring to Cyrus. Christina surprised Avery and Donna as Jocelyn was serving them at Bobby's. Jocelyn had asked Christina to look after their sisters so that Joss could do something, referring to her assignment as now or never. Jocelyn recommended Christina take them to the park but refused to tell Christina what she wanted to do. Cyrus entered after Christina, Donna, and Avery had left. He asked Joss if she was going to refuse him service, but she responded by apologizing to Cyrus. "I want justice for Dex, but you're not Dex's real killer. The police don't seem to think so, and considering I want Dex's actual killer caught, I'm going to let the professionals handle it," she says. Colette later sought out Jocelyn and gave her an envelope from Jack Brennan containing the address of the house where Austin was slain. Austin purchased it a month after Cyrus was released from Pentonville. Ava took Trina to the park to get out of her cramped little apartment, which Trina described as character. Ava was focused with her financial condition and was dismayed to learn that her broker was having difficulty selling her second gallery space. Trina attempted to convince Ava to count her blessings. She had a new apartment and a new wealthy customer in Jen Sidwell, so things could be worse. Ava shifted the conversation to Trina's life and pondered why she wasn't in the hospital visiting Kai. Trina stated that Quinn's statements affected her. Did she really push Kai so hard on art history that he couldn't focus on football, resulting in his injury? Ava clarified that football is a risky sport, that Trina had nothing to do with Kai's injuries. Ava was horrified to learn that Kai had told Trina to back off. "He should be grateful for your friendship and for your help." "What an ingrate," she grumbled. As Trina defended Kai, Ava noticed him directly behind them. Ava made herself scarce so Kai and Trina could chat alone. Kai apologized to Trina for how he had treated her the day before. Kai acknowledged that seeing Trina was the one bright spot in his life for the past 3 weeks. I am grateful that our paths crossed today and in art history. I hope we can get to know each other better, he told me. Trina wanted to get to know him more, but she pledged to stay in her own lane. Kai stated that most individuals he knew seemed to only care about him because of football. After leaving Kai and Trina, Ava saw Avery at the playground. Avery raced straight into her mother's arms. Ava offered to take Avery to see her new flat, but Christina swiftly declined. Christina grinned as she informed Avery that they needed to return to Carly's house to work on her school project. Avery still wanted to accompany Ava and even invited Donna. Ava informed Donna that Avery would invite her over for a sleepover if Carly agreed. I can't make decisions for other people's children, just my own, Donna stated, as Christina gazed on incredulously. Rick and Liz quickly discovered them. Rick drew Ava aside and took her home, warning her not to make a scene since it could jeopardize her custody case. Ava stated that she knew Avery would be in the park, but she argued that she did not intend to kidnap her because she couldn't kidnap her own child. Rick explained that Avery was technically in Sunny's care, but Ava wanted to know where Sunny was and why her daughter was staying with Carly. She has a mother who loves her and is desperate to see her, she said. Rick told Ava that her desperation was going to cost her everything. Ava was relieved to hear that Rick would fight her custody case pro gratis. Ava, I am your best and only chance at getting your daughter back, so get out of my way and let me do it, he told you. That prompted Ava to entice Rick into a passionate kiss, which resulted in their undressing each other. Back at the park, Elizabeth sought to reassure Christina, saying she didn't believe Ava seeing Avery was a big problem. Christina begged to differ. Ava can't have her daughter if I can't have mine, Christina exclaimed, as Elizabeth gave her a side glance. Danny feels desperate in the next episode of General Hospital. Christina warns Sunny. Sasha makes a decision. Brad might be pushing Portia too far at General Hospital. On General Hospital, Portia could be in serious trouble. She tampered with Heather's blood test results in an attempt to have her sent back to prison. That ruse failed, and if anyone found out what Portia did, she would lose not just her employment, but also her medical license. She reluctantly recruited Brad back as a lab technician, and he discovered incriminating evidence against her. Despite his efforts to turn a new leaf and become a better guy, he couldn't help but use that proof to not only bribe Portia into being kind to him, but also to allow him to attend a medical seminar where his ex-husband Lucas will be present. He used his pull again recently and may have pushed Portia too far. Brad from General Hospital is abusing his authority. On the February 6th episode, Curtis was taken aback when he watched Portia be polite to Brad. The recently reinstated lab tech requested the remainder of the day off, and she agreed as long as he could cover his shift. Brad has a history of scheming and could not be trusted. So Curtis spoke with him, and Brad swore unequivocally that he no longer worked for his mob stress aunt, Ms. Wu. However, Brad questioned Portia if Curtis was aware of their secret arrangement, to which she replied that he was not. She also warned Brad to be cautious with his requests, since she did not want the truth to be disclosed. Brad has asked for time off before, and it appears that he is pushing Portia too far. Everyone has boundaries, and while the reality could be unpleasant for Portia, she may tell Brad to go chase himself the next time he asks for something. Let us not forget that Brad placed the evidence in a paper shredder but did not really shred it. It could still be out there, possibly in someone's possession at General Hospital. The fact that Portia tampered with Heather's blood work results might destroy her and, in turn, Brad, for using it as blackmail. Or, if she's angry enough at him, Portia might be able to manipulate the results to make it appear that Brad was to blame. Brad wants to change, but continuing this blackmail will only come back to haunt him, especially if Lucas finds out. Brad has been attempting to get back into Lucas' good graces, and it appears to be working, so he should quit while he's ahead, take the win, and leave Portia alone. Laura Wright welcomes Chris McKenna to the General Hospital. Fans of General Hospital were horrified to learn that Charles Measure would be departing the role of Jack Brennan abruptly and being replaced by soap veteran Chris McKenna. Laura writes Carly was in the midst of a burgeoning romance with Brennan, and the flames were flying. However, with Measure's departure, the characters may have to start from scratch to see if they can reproduce Carly and Brennan's irresistible chemistry. Whether that happens, Wright took the time to welcome McKenna on the show. Laura Wright from General Hospital posted an image of Carly and McKenna's Brennan toasting on X, formerly Twitter, with the message, "Big love to Charles." And a big welcome to Chris McKenna. And a big hug to all of the fans. We adore you and are grateful for you all. #GHBaby. Wright politely paid tribute to Charles Measure, whose departure continues to perplex followers. But her words were taken too literally by @Tonerasa Media, who commented, "Does this mean Carly and Brennan will be having a #GHBaby? That would be a fascinating development." Wright promptly dismissed the idea, saying, "OMG no." Many of Wright's fans welcomed the notion of a Carly/Brennan child, with @EmilyEmilick30 adding, "That would be amazing, though. A twist in the plot." Some fans did believe that enough was enough with Carly having babies, with @Ivra observing, "Just stop with the Carly having a baby." Several fans agreed with @Salcarenti's comment regretting Measure's exit. "I have to say, if anyone can recreate the magic, it's #Laura Wright, but this one hurt." @Samari Ion expressed sadness about Charles Measure's departure from General Hospital, writing, "Charles left, that sucks, he was a great Jack Brennan." However, fans were open to McKenna taking over and willing to give him a chance, as John Lewitz remarked, "After watching today's show, I was very pleased with the performance #Chris McKenna had today, Laura. He was as intense and playful as he could be with Carly, and I'm excited to see how he develops his own vision of the role. Well done, both of you." @PSoul1 expressed the same sentiment, saying, "I trust Chris McKenna as an actor. He was pretty good as Joey Buchanan. The man has flippin' talent. I am looking forward to having fun." Joey was a character McKenna portrayed on the former ABC series One Life to Live, which shared the same universe as General Hospital. In one of Measure's final scenes, he and Carly kissed, prompting Go to Sharon to joke, "You literally kissed CM goodbye, crying face, how could you let him go after that kiss?" Smiling face with heart eyes. Sasha is eager to make Jason her baby daddy. After refusing to acknowledge or deny that Jason is her child's father, Sasha waits to hear what Jason has to say. When Cody demands that Jason reveal that he impregnated Sasha, Sasha throws a drink in Cody's face before meeting with Jason at the Q boathouse. Sasha surprises Jason by telling him that the only way to solve this problem is for him to let everyone believe he is the father of her kid. Jason was not expecting to return from Germany to find out he was going to be a phony parent again. However, it's appropriate. He never expected Carly to declare him Michael's father in the 1990s, but he accepted it. Why not do the same for Michael's child after all these years? Danny wants answers. Perhaps Jason should focus on his own child, who recently lost his mother. Danny is still hurting from Sam's death. Danny is furious now that he knows Cyrus is the major suspect. He approaches Rocco and asks his brother for help. Will Rocco give in and go rogue with Danny in order to find Sam's killer? At this point, Jason is unaware that Sam has been slain, therefore he is unable to control his son. Marty is still upset with Willow for not replying to Michael's divorce complaint. He cautions Willow that her custody fight will be much more difficult to win, but he needs to offer her another warning. When Willow joyfully proclaims that she no longer has to conceal her connection with Drew, Marty is ready to burst into tears and tells Willow that displaying her romance with the man she cheated on is a terrible decision. Christina tattletales Sonny is on his way back from California when Christina calls to warn him that Ava almost ran off with Avery. Sonny needs more information, so he hears Christina's side of the story about what happened at the park. Spoilers claim Sonny also receives some good news. Is this information concerning his medical condition or his criminal organization? 3 big General Hospital takeaways for February 10, 2025. Cody made another big scene, Rick saved Ava from herself, and Carly made a big decision. Felicia tried her hardest to mediate a reconciliation between Cody and Sasha, but it was not to be. Cody apologized, but it didn't stop him from putting his foot in his mouth again within minutes. Meanwhile, Jason learned from Aunt Tracy that half of Port Charles thinks Sasha is carrying his child. So he went straight to the Port Charles Grill to chat to Sasha. As soon as Cody spotted him, he forgot about his commitment to behave. Instead, he insulted Jason and insisted that he declare he was the father of Sasha's child. Sasha gazed in fear as Marty, Willow, and Nina gawked from the adjacent table. Nina and Carly's partnership. It took some time, but Nina eventually convinced Carly to join her in splitting Drew and Willow. Drew relocating Willow into a large new house made Carly's skin crawl, but she had to do it. However, the first step was to maintain the calm. To that purpose, Nina met Willow at the Port Charles Grill and persuaded her not to move forward with the divorce proceedings. Marty still wanted Willow to dig some dirt on Michael for when they did proceed, but neither knew it was at the next table. Passion for Rava Ava made sure to attend the park when she heard Avery and Donna were going to be there. She expected the girls to be with Jocelyn, but they were with Christina instead. When Ava tried to bring Avery home with her, Christina refused to allow her take her own daughter. Rick and Elizabeth walked upon the situation, so Rick drove Ava home and informed her that she had nearly lost her custody case. Rick eventually agreed to assist Ava pro gratis, which irritated her greatly. She drew Rick in for a passionate kiss and began pulling his clothing off in her freshly renovated living room. The crowded halls of General Hospital hummed with the typical commotion, nurses racing between patients, distant beeping of monitors, and quiet talks fraught with unspoken stress. Carly Corinthos strode down the corridors with determination, her mind concerned with a problem that had plagued her since she took up the phone earlier that day. She came to visit Lucas Jones, hoping he could provide clarity on a matter she wasn't sure how to manage. She found him in the break room, drinking coffee and reading charts. When Lucas saw her, he arched an eyebrow and placed down his cup. "This is a surprise," he said, sitting back in his chair. "What's up?" Carly breathed sharply, folding her arms. Lucas' expression soured as he said, "I got a call from Nina. And that's bad because I know exactly what she's going to ask me to do," she replied. Lucas gave out a low whistle. "She wants my help breaking up Willow and Drew." "And you are tempted," Carly admitted. Instead, she went into an explanation of her recent altercation with Drew, the conflict still vivid in her mind. Lucas listened, nodding when necessary, but when she finished, he sighed and laid his coffee aside. "Look, I get it," he said. "I lost my temper at Christmas, too, and all it did was make things worse." Drew swooped in like some knight in shining armor, and Willow forgave him before I even got the chance to apologize properly. I doubt whatever Nina's planning will have a different outcome. Carly rolled her eyes. "So what, I should just sit back and do nothing?" "If you really want to stop making things worse," Lucas responded, "then yeah. Teaming up with Nina will only escalate things." Meanwhile, at the hospital, Willow Tate welcomed Elizabeth Weber back to work. Liz had traveled a long distance and was grateful for the kind welcome. Portia Robinson joined them, but something about her expression made Liz nervous. "We need to talk before your shift starts," Portia replied. Liz nodded, and they entered Portia's office, locking the door behind them. "I want to make one thing clear," Portia said. "I never believed you were guilty of harming patients. I was just following protocol when I had to suspend you." Liz's jaw was clenched. "Has there been an update on the investigation?" Portia asked, shaking her head. "The police have taken over, so it's out of the hospital's hands now. But so far, there haven't been any additional deaths linked to digitalis poisoning beyond the ones we already knew about, Sam, Dex, and the elderly patient last fall." Liz took a deep breath. "At least that's something. I just hope the police find the person responsible before they strike again," she grumbled. Lucas later approached Willow at the nurse's station, making a request. "Can you put a rush on some lab results for me?" said the young man. "Of course," Willow responded. Before she could turn away, Lucas paused. "And about Christmas, I was out of line. I judged you unfairly, and I'm sorry." Willow looked at him in amazement. "Thank you," she responded. "That means a lot. If you or the kids need anything, I'm here," he said. "No strings attached." She smiled as she left to take care of the laboratories. Across town, at Turning Woods, Elizabeth was calling an old acquaintance. "Thanks again for all your help, Gail," she added, her voice gentle but honest. As soon as she hung up, an all-too-familiar figure appeared nearby. Cyrus Renault had come. "I'm here to visit Mrs. Brown," he told the receptionist. Gail looked at him apologetically. "I'm sorry, but you can't see any patients until you speak with Director Ferner." A moment later, Ferner appeared, his countenance impassive. "Cyrus, I need to inform you that you're no longer allowed to visit patients here," he told me. Cyrus' gaze narrowed. "And why is that?" "The mayor filed a formal complaint after you visited Lulu Spencer without permission," Ferner told me. Cyrus clenched his fists. "And I've also heard you've been barred from General Hospital. Who's spreading these lies about me?" His thoughts immediately turned to Elizabeth. "Is it her?" Ferner asked firmly. "Regardless of the source, the decision is final." Cyrus saw that but knew better than to press the subject. For now. Meanwhile, Laura Collins was visiting Lulu at Bobby's, where her daughter revealed some unexpected news. "I spoke to Jack," Lulu said. "He confirmed that Valentine was in Germany, but he disappeared before he could be tracked." Laura sighed. "So we're back to square one?" "Not exactly," the woman replied. "I've been looking into well-known equestrians on social media. If Charlotte is using a fake account, she might be following them. And I've been researching the best riding stables in Europe. If Valentine is letting her take lessons, I might be able to find her that way." Laura was thinking about it. That's actually a solid lead. Her phone rang before she could finish speaking. After a brief talk, she hung up and returned to Lulu. "I need to go meet with Drew," she said. "But I'm proud of you for taking the initiative on this." Lulu smiled, but her moment of serenity was cut short as an unwelcome face came. "Cyrus Renault." "Lulu," he murmured, his tone tinged with false warmth. "I'm so glad to see you out and healthy." Lulu's stomach churned. "There's a restraining order against you," she exclaimed. "Stay away from me, or I'll call the cops." Cyrus's face hardened. "People have misunderstood my intentions." "I heard you plotting to have me transferred out of state," Lulu blurted out. "I ran away because of you. Whatever twisted plan you had, I didn't want to be a part of it." Cyrus's composure crumbled. "You don't understand," he hissed. "I sat by your side. I read to you. No one else did that for you." Lulu grabbed her phone and dialed Anna. But when she looked back, Cyrus was gone. At Crimson, Nina Reeves gave Maxie Jones 2 tickets to the winter fashion show. Maxie lifted her eyebrow. "These are impossible to obtain, so what do you require from me?" Nina got right to the point. "I need your advice on getting Carly to help me break up Drew and Willow." Maxie let out a growl. "Willow is an adult. And I don't think Drew would hurt her." "He already has," Nina replied. Maxie folded her arms, saying, "He's leading her to make bad decisions." "Is this about Willow? Or about you being jealous?" Nina's jaw hardened. "Drew and I had a brief fling. I was done with him the moment I saw what he was doing to Willow." She giggled. "Saying 'I told you so' isn't as much fun when you agree with me, is it?" Carly had just arrived. The battle lines were drawn. Sasha's request to Jason, Danny's outrage, Sunny's surprise. Sasha Gilmore Corbin will make a plea to Jason Morgan as Danny Morgan's rage flares. Sunny Corinthos will also receive a surprise, so here's what GH viewers might expect. First, Curtis Ashford will warn Jordan Ashford, "Whatever this guy wants, just say no." It appears that Curtis will be concerned about Jordan becoming too close to Jen Sidwell. Emma Drake will have an offer for Kai Taylor to consider. This could coincide with Emma's forthcoming fundraiser event, so we'll see if Kai agrees or not. Willow Corinthos will then talk to Martin Gray and Nina Reeves about her relationship with Drew Quartermaine. After Willow insists that they no longer need to hide, Nina will spend some time alone with her daughter. Nina will become upset and admit she understands why Willow might fall for Drew. Nina appears to be on the point of confessing her Drew hookups to Willow in GH's weekly teaser video, but will she follow through or stop short of disclosing the whole truth? Christina Corinthos Davis plans to call regarding Avery Corinthos. Will Christina contact Sonny Corinthos regarding Ava Jerome's effort to steal Avery away from the park? The crisis was resolved when Rick Lansing arrived and whisked Ava away, but Christina will still want Sonny to know. Sonny will receive some positive updates on GH's episode, so he may feel relieved Ava failed and Christina informed him. Following this incident, Sonny may make a strong decision to preserve custody of Avery and do whatever it takes to oppose Ava in court. Whatever the situation, Sonny will talk to Natalia Ramirez on the plane ride home, which will provide more bonding time and express his gratitude for her unwavering support. Lucky Spencer at Charlie's Pub will question how Elizabeth Baldwin rescued the day this time. Liz appears to be willing to discuss her own involvement in the park incident with Ava and Avery. Elizabeth will eventually meet up with Isaiah Gannon, and they will find common ground on Tuesday's broadcast. After throwing a beverage in Cody Bell's face and stomping out to meet with Jason alone, Sasha will insist Jason must make everyone believe he is the father of her child. Jason may have doubts about the concept, but Sasha will make a desperate case, emphasizing how it will protect Michael Corinthos' custody efforts. While Cody expresses his difficult emotions to Felicia Scorpio, Danny gets all fired up across town. Danny will undoubtedly seek justice now that he is aware that Cyrus Renaud is the primary suspect in Sam McCall's inquiry. I have to find him! Danny yells at Rocco Falconeri in Tuesday's preview video. Whether Danny wants to go after Cyrus himself or hire Jason to do it for him, Rocco will be concerned that he spilled too much information. General Hospital spoilers indicate that some stunning Cyrus news is still to come in Port Charles, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.